Well, a few of you may recognize what's on the screen. 2 years ago, we updated our website for the last time in the old manner. This website had been with us since 1989 or 1990 with improvements that I just felt would make it great. Well, about 3 years ago, an individual came to us. Some of you met Joanne Hall. Her son, James Hall, came to us and said, you know, I just love the message, but your website is pathetic, to say the least. So, we thought it was great. I mean, organization, you could look at it and you could just click on things and you could look at topics and click right through the topics to get what you wanted to. Well, I don't know how many of you have seen, let me see here, this is a new website, but what really affected our choice to go with a website is the search engines. And Google and Bing and Yahoo and all the other companies that are providing search services for clients like websites to be in a certain format. And they don't particularly care for websites that are designed in format that was working well 20 years ago. So the challenge we had was we have articles on the website since 1995. Every one of those articles had to be converted into a new format to go on the new website. And James Hall, bless his heart, he did incredible work to try and bring our website up to the new generation. And I want to talk to you tonight a little bit about what that all involves, but I wanted to show you a little bit too. There is still a topical index out there that people can look at, and our books are out there, so you can do searches and still find things on our website. But rather than knowing, as Larry knew, that in April 2010 he wrote an article on a particular subject and being able to jump right to that article, well, people out on the internet don't care that the subject that we wrote about was in April of 2010. They want to know what the subject is. So we had to make changes to adjust for that. So our website now is based on Bible prophecy. It presents Bible prophecy to groups of people, and we find, we have to make that website so it allows the people that are interested in the subject to be able to find us. And that's the challenge that we had. Now, given that our website is on Bible prophecy, I'd like some comments about what people think that the searches that people would find our website. What's the number one search that people use and land on our website is all about? Bible prophecy, Revelation, 7 trumpets. Well, the number one search that people land on our website is, how do you become demon-possessed? It has nothing to do with Bible prophecy. Seriously, the number one hit that people have when they're searching and they come to our website is that particular subject. Larry happened to write an article on that 10 years ago, 5 or 10 years ago. I don't know why it is. But anyway, it's those are some little interesting tidbits about what goes on. Now, of course, we're trying to get articles like the 7 trumpets and Revelation prophecy and all those kinds of things because that's what we're really interested in. But what we're having to learn each day is that it's not what we are interested in and we think are important. It's what the people out there think are important, because what happens is that if we can attract those people and get them on our website, and then they could start looking at other things, and maybe they'll find something about Bible prophecy, which is what we wanted them to get to. So what we do is we design all of our efforts to make that happen. This happens to be a web page from Google. I just pulled it up. This is you'll see that I did a search on the 7 trumpets. This is page 2 of the search. And our article on this particular search comes up and says number 19 on Google, which is pretty decent, but that's not, we want to be on the first page or the first 5 or, the first one if we can. And that's a challenge, and that's what we've been working on with Jim for quite some time to try and build those search engine referrals. We do some evaluation on our website. For example, I pulled this up about midday today. Yesterday, from Google Hits, we had 530 hits on our website from searches that went on. That's increase in one day. Today, we had 222. I did this, I think, around 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock today. And this is updated all the time. And if you get down here, you can see where the countries are, where the visitors come from. U.S., Australia, Canada, France, etc., which is, and you can also see a map of, that this is all on our website, and we can keep track of this on a regular basis these days, which helps us to know what people are, where the people are coming from, and if we're actually getting some hits on our site. Okay, there we go. Here is the other thing that we're having to do with, and it's happening, and it's a transition that's happening across the web. It used to be that all people sat down at their computers and desktop computers and did searches. Later on, their laptops they took around. Well, at this point, the browsers and the people that are looking for our site now, the majority of what's coming to our site is from tablets and handheld computers. And that sort of thing, and that's, it's been a real significant shift. And the problem with our old website is that if we've been still using it, all these tablets and handheld browsers and that sort of thing, nobody would have been able to access our site. And since they're providing the majority of hits on our site these days, if we didn't have that, we would have lost a tremendous amount of business, and the detail gets pretty involved with some of this. But this page shows how many hits. It's just in a graphical format. Like on the February 23rd, we had 600 hits on the site from Google, and then the other search engines. It shows what level of their search engines are. Bing, Yahoo, everybody else. This again shows that we received a lot of information from various referring sites. The other emphasis that we've been hitting is on our YouTube activities. Many of you go to this site. There's a similar search you can do here with you can see where the mouse is. That people will do a search on Bible prophecy or something like that. I want to go into the statistics a little bit about what's going on with that. This is the Google Analytics. In the last 28 days, we've had 92,288 minutes, which works out to 3,300 minutes a day, or 137 hours a day, which is basically about the same amount as 30 people in this group listening to an hour of a session a day, or actually all the hours that we've done here at Wake Up in one day. If you just pick out a day at the meeting, that we're getting the same amount of visibility on YouTube as what everybody paying attention at this meeting is getting. So, it's a pretty serious, and that's each day, and this goes on whether we're having meetings or not. So it is driving what we're doing as far as the videotaping and that sort of thing, because we're designing things to actually share on YouTube. We've had 8,000 views in the last 28 days, 4 weeks, and the most I'll try and raise that up. I don't know where the people can see it. The biggest hit that we're getting right now is the God of the Old Testament. It's Jesus Christ. There was 1,820 views of that in the last 4 weeks, and that's been a pretty consistent thing. that we've it's been sitting there at the top of the stack for a little bit. So we do a lot of 45-minute presentations, but actually the ones that are where the people are viewing the most are the shorter ones. So just something to keep in mind. Of course, describing Revelation stories in 5 minutes has been a challenge for all of us. We've done our, tried to do well on that, and Larry keeps working on it, and hopefully someday we'll be able to take advantage of that a little bit more. So the other one, demographics. This is the one that's particularly interesting to me, and I told Larry I had something to really surprise him about. If you look at up until about a year ago, if you looked at the in memorials and our wake-up report, it seemed like there was more people that were aging that were on a mailing list than people being added. And, Larry and I are not getting any younger. And, the groups of people we touch the most are not getting much younger either. So this was something that really jumped out at me. The demographic that seems to be the heaviest amount is male, and they're in the ages of 25 to 34 years old. So, the YouTube is allowing us to capture, those eyes, people watching it, that in a demographic that we haven't been able to reach much before. And I think that I think the Lord is.
We never see them in the meetings.
Yeah, we never see them here, but apparently they're the ones that are beginning to check us out, and hopefully this trend will continue because somebody's going to need to take the mantle. As we become more aged and feeble, we're not going to be able to do it much longer. So, anyway, the source of where people come from, we refer people to the YouTube site. But the biggest source of the YouTube hits that we're getting is from suggested videos that YouTube is providing people on other sites. Now, when somebody watches a video on prophecy, if there's a related prophecy we produce, often our video is suggested as one of the ones that people may want to watch. Well, that is happening. That is happening more and more. It's causing 36,000 minutes of the 88,000 minutes that we had from a source that we have not generated ourselves. It's just people that have found the internet and have wanted to get some information. And in that regard, let me show you something here, right here. This is from a person that the only contact we've had is from the internet. It says, I would like to get your charts, especially the one that looks like a pathway, creation 1 or 2, that you have on your YouTube videos. I pulled them into Photoshop from the PDF file, but they are too big to print. You folks all know that. You have a copy of it yourself. Any possibility you could offer them laminated? Working through your studies now, sent for the free book. God bless and thank you. This had to have taken years and years of research. Debbie.
Wow.
I mean, we in the last 6 months, I think even since Diana's been here at the office, we've been, we're starting to get more and more of these types of emails and contacts, people ordering materials from us that we don't even know who they are. We've never heard of them before. But because of our positioning, and I'll show you a little bit more about that in a moment, both on YouTube, because we are recognized by Google as having a website like they like with good information to provide. They are using it. So, and the better we can do at that, the better off we are. This chart goes into a little bit more of the statistics about the different sources. As you can see, the combination of mobile phones, tablets, TV, and game consoles is close to the amount of hits that we're getting from computers. So another way of looking at some of this information. One of the things that causes Google or YouTube, Google owns YouTube, so One of the things that causes people to look at a site or consider sending people to a site is the amount of time that people watch videos. It used to be that the average video was about 6 to 7 minutes in length on YouTube. And that's about how long they said that the people's attention span lost or could spend on a particular thing before they got bored and clicked to something else. We're a very clickable generation, and the people out there want to click from one thing to another. Well, in our particular case, the average view duration is 11 minutes and 26 seconds, and the average percentage view, that means the length of time that people watch our videos, is 46%. Well, both of those numbers were very high, but in comparison to the rest of the YouTube population, it's been dropping because YouTube has been expanding the videos like full-length television programs, that sort of thing. So the average viewing time has increased on that basis. But for something like this, we are still it's working really well for us. But the other thing I wanted to show you, this is yesterday I asked Jim Hall to provide us a listing of materials of page rankings, and this is based on a week ago. This shows the number of rankings that moved up, which basically means our placement on the web pages. If they moved up higher and higher, that means that they moved up, and the rankings that went down and the rankings that stayed the same. And they're saying that they list important gains, which are the ones where there's more population of people that are typing that into their browser, and the ones that are important as the loss as well. But if you go down and look at through the overview of these rankings, you can see we have in Google. I'm concentrating on Google because the other ones, it's nice to have number one web pages, but the Google ones are the really good ones. Right now we have 64 pages linked to position 1. 105 in 2 through 5, and 58 in position 6 through 10. And these are just searches that have we've just decided that come up with words that seem to be what people are searching, and then we do this evaluation and see where we're at. So we have close to over 200 pages that are linked to the first page on Google. When a person does that search for that particular subject, they can look at it, and you can see some items go up. Like for example, we moved up one position for the 2300 Days of Daniel, and you can go through and and I'm not going to spend time going through all of this, but sometimes there's some fairly incredible ones. Like for example, this one here, Daniel Prophecy. We were originally in the position 66, we moved up 64 slots, and we're in the second search site for Google right now. And that's primarily because we built our website around trying to get Google hits. So anyway, for those of you that have called in the office, there's been some of you that had, and we haven't received too many of them in the last 6 months or so. But people saying, "Oh, I love the old website. I really like that because I could find what I wanted to find there." And I just have to say to them that I understand, and I will help them find whatever they're looking for that they possibly can. But it's the importance of people that we don't know, that have never, and spreading the seed, sowing the seed out there so people can look at it. The importance of doing that can't be understated. It's so important, and if we need to provide information for the people that are like you that are sitting out there today. But we also need to make sure that the people that are interested in the subject have the opportunity to look at it too. And we're just very pleased with the way things have been going, and I can't say enough positive about James Hall. He just has worked with us. I mean, he's done this. He does this as a business, and he has taken this as his mission, and he's taken us places that, we couldn't pay for, we'd have to pay an unbelievable amount to achieve what we've been Jim has been able to get for us. So, before I leave, are there any questions anybody has?